Hey everybody, Dallisa here, 5th generation psychic medium, getting blasted with this energy. I bet you are too. I'm excited. I am going to mention, what I feel is coming for this week ahead. Nura is going to come on. She is a fantastic astrologer, and I'm going to ask her all the good stuff about today's full moon. What do we have coming up with the Mercury retrograde? All kinds of things to help us get ready for not only the week ahead, but the month, the year ahead. I'm all about helping everybody out, including myself, so that we don't have to navigate this in complete darkness. So do me a favor, if you're tuning in live or the replay, would you please drop me a comment? Let me know where you're tuning in from today, because we're about to get started. All righty, a couple of quick notes before I jump into my predictions and thoughts for the week ahead. And then, of course, we're going to bring on Nura and talk about astrology, which will be a lot of fun. Okay, so quick note, Jasmine's doing a full moon energy reading tonight. Visit the class calendar, spiritandSpark.com, click on classes, and you can sign up. She still has space available for tonight, but time is crunched now, so go ahead and sign up. She does need your birth information. She's going to tell you how the full moon is in alignment or working with your own natal birth chart in astrology. So that's tonight. So sign up, spiritandSpark.com, and click on classes. We are going to be with Jasmine tomorrow, the 21st of September at 10 a.m. Pacific time to do card readings with her for Tarot Tuesday. Join us right here on the YouTube channel. Make sure you've hit the subscribe button down below if you have not already done so, and join us tomorrow for card pulls with Jasmine. Ashley has a few spots left in her Moonlight meditation and oracle card class. It's this Friday. She'll do card pulls, meditation, energy healing, and those spots are complimentary. They're this Friday, 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. So it's a late night if you're on the East Coast, 10:30 Eastern time, but it's this Friday. If you want one of those remaining free class passes, you've got to go on spiritandSpark.com, click on the class calendar, click on Friday night, and the directions on how to sign up for Ashley's class are on there, but only a couple spots left. Spark Plug members, I will be teaching a live meditation October 6th, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern time. Sign up in your member portal. If you're not yet a Spark Plug member, go to spiritandSpark.com and click on the Spark Plug and join my members only community. You also, members, have in your member portal this morning a ritual for the fall equinox. And I also created your member only video of the week. I do talk about more information on what I see coming for the United States, the volatility ahead. And I also channeled Gabby Petito. So that information is on your member video for this week. So spiritandspark.com and in the Spark Plug portal. All right, beautiful. So the week ahead, before I bring Nura on and talk about astrology, which I love so much, here's what I picked up as I was tuning in for the week ahead. Today, actually, the 20th, if you're watching live or catching the replay today, Monday, September 20th of 21, great day for creativity, visualizations, coming up with awesome projects that you want to implement, especially if it has to do with maybe color, design, words. So anything maybe marketing related, great day to do that. I also feel like this week, later this week, and even for the next 4 weeks ahead, a lot of energy around love and harmony and balance. And so I'm sure all of us are looking forward to that. It's a great time to act on your dreams. Don't just sit back and let the world pass you by. You might be feeling a little bit, I'm going to ask Nura about this, but you might be feeling a little bit moody, a little bit extra sensitive today and maybe for the next few days. You may feel like your judgment is clouded this week, and there might be some fogginess or some confusion. So slow down. I talked about this in my Spark Plug member video a couple weeks ago about the numerology for September, and I was saying don't fly by the seat of your pants this month. You really need to slow things down. You really need to think about your strategic decisions. So just a reminder for that. Do not go flying by the seat of your pants this month. It's not the time to do that. Watch the energy of fertilization right now. So what are you watering? What are you growing? What are you fertilizing? So kind of do a gut check on your life. Are you watering the weeds, or are you watering and spending time and energy and attention on things that you actually want to bloom? So watch the energy of fertilization. All right. Yeah, the energy is potent, intense, and it's going to be revealing. You're going to find out things where you're going to go, wait, what? What did you just say? So slow down, take a breath. I need to take my own advice. I feel like I'm speeding at the speed of sound, speed of light right now. So I'm gonna take my own advice. Okay. So ground into your body, ground into the present moment. Watch for overblown expectations. So if you feel like you are expecting too much from people, too much from situations, you might feel like you're going to be maybe feel let down this week, or feel like what you wanted didn't happen. So release expectations. Expectations are great for lining up disappointment. So just see where expectations are showing up in your life and how you can realign those or get rid of them. Okay. Later this week, align yourself with the energies of compromise, negotiation, balance, and being a peacemaker. Lastly, you may find it more difficult to make a decision this week. So if you do need to talk to somebody like Nura, myself, other practitioners on the Spirit and Spark team, we're here for you. So if you feel like things are murky or you are having a hard time making a decision, just know that you're not alone, but it might help for you to talk with somebody that you trust and that you feel aligned with. All right. So let's go ahead and bring Nura on. So fabulous, fabulous. You've been on the show before. Thanks for coming back. How you doing?
Oh, I'm so good. Thank you for having me back again. I love what you were talking about not watering the weeds, watering the garden that you want, and being strategic, which is very Virgo medicine.
Yeah. I mean, things are just, it feels like they're going like this, like just zooming past. And I was having a conversation with a dear friend of mine over the weekend, and I said, it feels like the energy is like suspended, almost like the Matrix, you know, like the movie where Keanu Reeves is like floating through the air. It feels like that's what's going on right now. And I feel like I'm like in some, I literally said out loud the other day, inside of this new house in this small town in Texas, I said, am I in the Twilight Zone? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, I feel that. I bet a lot of people are feeling that with this full moon today as well.
Okay. So that could be part of the reason. I usually feel the energy in advance. And so it doesn't surprise me. And I'll keep an eye on the comments. So everybody who's watching, comment, let us know how you're feeling. I'll show some of them up on the screen. And if you have a question for Nura about astrology, about why you might be feeling a certain way, drop it in the comments and I'll make sure to share those up on the screen. So yeah, what do you feel like this energy is doing to us right now?
Feels like a big initiation, in my opinion. Everything that I'm seeing, it feels like it's bringing us to this culmination, which full moons always have that energy of this fullness, this abundance of energy, everything that we've been working through and doing all of the emotional processing around. And so it always feels like that. But this one, especially being so close to the equinox, feels so potent. It's also at a 28-degree mark. And 28 degrees, so 27, 28, and 29 degrees of every sign are ruled by Saturn. So Saturn being kind of like the tester, kind of saying this is the final exam. And if you look at where you have Virgo and Pisces in your chart, and particularly these degrees, you'll maybe be able to make those associations of like, oh, this area of my life, I've been working on strategy, which is Virgo's sphere. I've been working on integration and connecting with my whole self, my spiritual self, which is Pisces energy. And so now with this full moon, it's like we get this test to see, okay, how well are these energies integrated together? Are you walking your spiritual talk? Is it integrated in your daily life, in the quote unquote mundane? I feel like the Pisces with Virgo is very much this reminder to see the sacred in the ordinary, to really see that like everything that we do is a spiritual experience, and it kind of takes you on this trip, right? Like you said, like, am I in the twilight zone? Like, you start seeing synchronicities, you start having these experiences that just start to magically unfold when you're in that flow state. And so that's some of the highest potential with a full moon, is being able to enter that creative flow state because you're so tapped in with your whole self. Like, I love what you were saying before about the energy of creativity, because that Pisces moon is saying, yes, you are the dreamer living the dream. Like, create your dream. It's so beautiful.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, there's a lot of synchronicities adding up, especially for me over the last, 5 or 6 weeks, and where it all kind of hit this like culmination over the last week, which is really interesting. But also, a great reminder for all of us to trust our intuition, because that I have Pisces moon in the 10th house, and I rely on my intuition. It's my, internal GPS. Like, we all have it, right? But there have been things over the last week that haven't quite added up or haven't really worked out. And I think what I'm hearing, as you're so eloquently putting all of this moon energy, is the reminder that not everything is meant to work out, and that follow that wave of the universe and what it's sending you. There will be things that will be synchronistic that will add up, but then there will be things that you'll go, this doesn't quite feel right. So you got to trust that redirection so that the synchronicities can really just keep adding up and aligning for you. Does that make sense, or am I just talking out loud?
Oh, yes. I've been totally feeling that sort of, okay, I'm only going to understand this thing in retrospect. Like, right now, it doesn't make any sense, but I'm just trusting that whatever is coming up for me, it doesn't mean I have to act on every single thing, but it's coming up for a reason. And especially because we're in a Mercury retrograde pre-shadow. So we need to pay attention to all of these like thought formations, the thought cycles that we're already in since last September 6th. So we've already been in it for a couple weeks, and then Mercury stations retrograde just within a couple days. So we're already in this deep mental integration zone that we're probably going to be seeing double. Like, we're going to see things and like do a double take and wonder like, wait, did I just see what I thought that I saw? Who is, like, where's this person coming from? Like, blast from the past. Like, why are we talking about this again? Oh my gosh, I thought that this was a completed cycle, and here we are again. So, and we also have all of the outer planets retrograde right now still. So this retrograde energy is so good for reflection, but also that constant discernment of what is reality, what to take action on versus what to just appreciate or look at or engage with, maybe in a more mental space. So yeah, everything you're saying completely makes sense.
Yeah, a funny example comes to mind. Last night, I finally got the TV, hooked up in the new house, and I turned the channel to something that I wasn't planning on watching. I was trying to figure out something with the TV, and the TV was stopped on this channel for maybe 60 seconds. And the person on the TV said the name of somebody that was like, it's the same name as an ex-boyfriend. And I'm like, Mercury retrograde, I see you. I see you. You're like, oh, come on, I just laugh because I know that it's the universe speaking to me, and like, what do I need to heal? What do I need to release? All that good stuff. But you've got to love the universe and how energy talks to all of us, because you just kind of have to go, all right, I'm in the playground, I'm in Earth school. So what am I supposed to be learning? And it's just funny when those synchronicities happen. And Mercury retrograde, I just feel like this one is going to be, I don't know. I don't even know anymore.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah. Like, even with this full moon right now too, something that a lot of people have been saying to me is that it feels like they're living a movie. Like, it's not that they're watching it, they're living it, they're inside the movie. And so to me, I'm thinking, great, like, it's your life. You're not just observing something that's outside of you, you're an active participant, and that's wonderful. But then there's also that very dreamy nature of like it can be confusing sometimes. And then so what we want to do, I think, with this energy to harness it is to really come back to that Saturnian question of what is being mastered in myself right now? What am I becoming? What is being mastered? What's the role that I want to play in the movie that is my life? And
Mhm.
so I'm really looking at this Mercury retrograde in Libra as a time to practice the script. Like, sometimes we're going to get it wrong. Sometimes we're going to have conversations with people and we're going to have this awareness of like, oh, that's actually old self or shadow self. Like, I don't think I want to continue on that path anymore. I think I'm going to actually go this way. I'm the soul in charge and I've got a new plan. So we can look for that in our conversations with other people, especially with ourselves, right? If we get into any of that like itty bitty shitty committee inside, right? Um, and then also the energy of the equinox and the Libra season, everything is coming to a point of rest. So we've got this, it feels like this big final exam. And then if you've ever been through any sort of schooling where you've had that final test, final exam, there's such an immense sigh of relief afterwards, generally, right? Like, you get at least a couple days of like, okay, I'm going to take a pause. I'm going to look at what I accomplished. So that's kind of how I view the energy of this equinox, and come to that point of rest in ourselves so that we can just be that clear, kind of like a clear pond, so that we can see the reflection accurately rather than through all of the distortion, because there's potential for a lot of distraction and distortion right now, like you said, with the like watering the weeds versus like, what is it that you want to create? What feels inspiring? What feels like it's adding to the beauty or adding value? These are all sort of Libran questions, like, how can I add beauty in my relationships? How can I be valuable just by being who I am, right? Or create something that adds value to the world. So it's feeling very, I feel very inspired by it. I hope that all of you listening are able to tune into and see the glimpses of that amidst the chaos of right now.
I know. I love how you put it. You speak like poetry. So I'm just sitting here like listening to you, and your words just are very powerful. Yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit hesitant about this Mercury retrograde, which I think is the 27th of this month through October 18th, but we've got the shadows on both sides of that.
Yes.
The last Mercury retrograde that we had, it was one of the worst Mercury retrogrades I've ever experienced. Now, I shared with you that I'm a Sag, Gemini, Pisces, but the last one was terrible. And so I'm like, oh, please, God, don't hurt me again. Do you think that this one is going to feel very similar to the last one that we had, or do you think there'll be a different kind of fingerprint?
Judging by the nature, so North Node in Gemini, having had the Mercury retrograde in that air sign with the North Node, oftentimes the North Node's really uncomfortable energy because we're having to step so deeply outside of our comfort zone. And I think that last Mercury retrograde invited us into a lot of uncomfortable conversations, a lot of kind of uncomfortable questioning and doubt. But hopefully since then, and what we've been integrating, it's kind of come more to the energy of, okay, like, I know more or less what my stance is, or like my opinion. I'm not like lost completely in what is reality and what is truth. Because I feel like that last Mercury retrograde, it was really like that for a lot of people. This one, I think, dependent on where you have Libra in your chart, of course, that 10 to 25 degrees of Libra. It's going to kind of show up a little bit differently. I think that Gemini is a little bit more of an erratic energy.
Yeah.
Libra has a lot more of that. Okay, we're coming to harmony. And so I think it all depends on strategy, like always, right? If your strategy is, I'm going to bulldoze and I'm going to have the right answer, and I'm going to have to know, I'm going to have it my way kind of thing, then that's just going to invite conflict. But if you're coming into a situation with openness, with curiosity of, okay, what can I learn from this situation? Things might not go exactly how I want them to go, but it's all an opportunity to harmonize. That's how I'm feeling about it. And I guess that just depends on, if you have a lot of Aries perhaps, and you've got the Mercury retrograde in the opposite point, maybe that's going to bring up a little bit more of like frustration or like having to practice the patience. But what a beautiful gift that is, right? Like,
Yes, I think there are a lot of people watching that could, including myself, that could use some help with patience. Yeah, no, it hit me last time when I was on my road trip. And just, I mean, car problems, somebody an intruder in the middle of the night at a place I was staying, like it was just really bad. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to just having it be better this time.
Yeah. I hope so. Hopefully no midnight intruders or anything.
Yeah, no. And yeah, I think the Aries and the Libra stuff, I think I'm good there.
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. So we talked about a little bit about the full moon today, Mercury retrograde, and the equinox. Is there anything else about those three things that you want to talk about or share?
I think more than anything, like my biggest focus always is having some sort of intention for ritual. So if you can locate these parts of your chart and look at what it is that you're calling in, what it is that you're integrating, what kind of leadership or mastery you're stepping into, just really using those dates because they're big like PowerPoint dates that your intention, it can go a lot farther. So I think just staying in that powerful creator, heart-centered energy as best you can, it's going to take you far. Libra is associated with the heart chakra. So if you just trust that when you are acting from love and communicating from love, you can't really make a mistake. Like somebody might disagree with you, sure, but you yourself, you can't go wrong if you're acting from love, if you're speaking from love. So I think any intention around that really, really helpful, especially with this full moon in Pisces too. Pisces is divine love, unconditional love. So maybe right now we're sending that all around the world, right? We know that this whole earth could use a lot of that unconditional, just acceptance, love, loving what is. And then we get to take it down into the realm of our personal one-on-one relationships.
Fun times all the way around. We're definitely on a fast track of learning and growth if we allow it to be that way. You're right. There's just so much going on all over the world, not just the United States, that we're all going through this collective energy and we're all experiencing what Earth herself is going through and the energy that she's putting out, and just a really interesting time to be alive. I think we all chose to be here right now. Yeah, Wicked Love Media is saying, I'm going to go hide again. Gail is saying, I've been absolutely fantastic and nothing negative for weeks. I'm double Scorpio and Gemini moon. What? Okay, that's
amazing.
awesome.
That's so good. Yeah, share that. Share that with all of the people.
Yeah, Gail, you're so lucky. We need people like you to give us hope, is what KTL is sharing. Oh, mercy. Okay, so now that we've kind of talked about the energy that's right around us right now, is there anything you want to share about, what you kind of see coming down the road a little bit? Or, we have America's Pluto return to 22 of 22. Mm-hmm. As you kind of just take a glance out into the future, what are you kind of sensing or seeing?
I'm sure that everybody's feeling the acceleration of all that we're working through right now. I think the Jupiter retrograde and the Saturn retrograde in Aquarius are really adding that fuel to the fire. Every day is different. Every day we're changing. And then you just add the energy of Pluto coming back to the same point that Pluto was at the birth of the United States, and how the United States has so much influence around the world, and how it becomes this sort of global economy, political economy question. People who more or less were kind of neutral toward politics or maybe less involved with politics are more involved now probably than they've ever been. I'm seeing a lot of people having these conversations and kind of stepping into new levels of awareness and mastery about what's happening in the world. And we're seeing different stories, different news outlets. We're expanding what we're seeing so that we can basically decide what do we want to create more of. And so that's where I'm seeing that Jupiter and Saturn in Aquarius sort of giving us a preview of what we're going to experience when Pluto then moves into Aquarius in 2024. So that's a little bit farther out. But whenever we're in the final degrees of a sign, like we were talking about with this full moon at 28 Pisces, well, we have the US Pluto return at 27 degrees Capricorn. So that's a Saturnian degree again. And if we think about, well, what, when the US was founded, what type of energy was the intention? Like, what were we trying to master? The people who came here, what were they trying to lay as a foundation? And we get to come back to that. We get to evaluate it, analyze it, see, okay, were we successful? And I say we, I'm Canadian actually, but live in the States now, but I'm part of this collective consciousness too. But, were we successful in our goals? We're reevaluating them all. We're looking at, was it effective? And so when we're in that space, we're kind of witnessing the simultaneous crumbling of a structure, but this building of one at the same time. And so every day we might kind of see, oh, like this day feels a little bit more like, oh, I'm seeing the building, I'm seeing the good news, I'm seeing, oh, the people are, waking up to their spiritual power. And then another day, or even sometimes in the same hour, I'm seeing the crumbling, I'm seeing the horror stories, I'm seeing the challenge. So realizing that it's all happening at the same time, you get to decide, well, what part of the process are you involved in? Are you part of the dismantling of the system? Because that's a totally valid place to be. Just as being somebody who's holding the space for what's coming next is a totally valid place to be. So I think we're witnessing this reshuffling of the deck and people realizing that this is happening and then coming to this greater sense of soul purpose. Like, well, why did I choose to be here alive at this time? Experiencing these things, adding my very unique perspective, my unique gifts and insights and abilities. So I think with Pluto, we get to see the mastery of the collective transformation. And so it's, some days are better than others. But I think overall, when we tune into the highest essence of Pluto, it's to confront anything that is in the way of our highest soul evolution. So when we're looking at it from that place, it starts to put some things into perspective, and we can have a little bit more gentleness with the process as it unfolds.
Wow. Yeah, I get that. I understand. Yeah. I love listening to you. You're great.
Thank you.
KTL is saying, usually I'm very happy and optimistic and can laugh at all the trials, find the lessons and gratitude, but dang, it's been a bit overwhelming lately. And yeah, that Pluto energy. And I feel like what we're headed into with, Uranus square Saturn the end of the year, and then the Pluto return hitting in February. It feels like there's a lot of things that have sped up and things that we're being asked to question and learn, but I think it's all divinely orchestrated. And so it's, navigating through that and being better and coming out better the other side. But I agree with you. I think we're being asked, what am I doing to either help with the new, or how am I holding light? But this isn't meant to be, at home, kind of hiding away and just kind of keeping your blinders on. This, I feel, is energy that's calling us to do something, whatever that means to us as individual energies that are part of that whole.
Absolutely. And I think for a lot of people, this might feel hopeful because with the Jupiter and Saturn retrograde, there is that tendency to turn in because there might simply not be a knowingness of what to do out in the world. But when they station direct mid-October, I think that we'll start to feel a lot more of that clarity around the inspired intuitive action, because like you said, it's not a good idea to like rush ahead and do something just because you feel like you should, right? Or somebody outside of you is telling you should do this. But when we can get into that center zone, which I think all of the retrogrades are inviting, then it becomes a lot clearer what the right action is.
Oh, good. Mid-October.
Yeah.
I think we can all get there. I think we can all get there. You've been delightful. I'm going to be pulling a card here in a minute for the collective and what we need to kind of remember for the week ahead. But before I let you go from the live stream, I know your website is nurarachelle.com. So it's their first name and last name, .com. And you're graciously doing $10 off a reading, a course, a mentorship. They need to go to your website. The code for that is Spirit Spark. So just Spirit Spark is the code. But I'm sure they can connect with you through the website as well, right?
Absolutely. Yes. Any questions are welcome. I love to talk everything astrology and integration. So I'm here for it.
Yeah, beautiful. And you're going to be back again next month. We're going to talk about what's going on in October. I think you'll be on after we've gone through the direct of Jupiter and Saturn. So we should all be feeling hopefully a lot better by then. No, I love it. And on NuraRachelle.com, you also have a free astro glossary when you sign up for your email mailing list. If you're listening to this right now and you're into astrology, you want to learn more about how to read your own chart, because I know we sometimes talk about a sign or the degree that it's at. You might not quite understand how to take a look at that. That's a free gift on your website. So everybody should go check it out, NuraRachelle.com.
And I just recently added guided meditation as well to that astro glossary. Yeah. So even more free gifts if you come check it out.
Yeah, awesome. Everybody go to her website and connect with Nura, and we'll see you again next month.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's so good to talk to you.
Same. Enjoy the full moon.
You too.
All right. Thank you. I just love her. She's fantastic. I love the way, I swear, she speaks like poetry. So I love just hearing everything that she has, such this light about her. You know, some people you'll go online and you'll listen and it just sounds like the world is ending. And for some people, that is their perspective. But I think there's lots of optimistic, light-filled nuggets that Nura had to share today. So I'm thrilled that she was able to come and join us. Okay, so we're going to do Card of Destiny and see what energy is in the collective. Just a reminder, go over to spiritandspark.com, click on the class calendar, sign up for Jasmine's full moon experience class tonight. And then also grab Ashley's spot on Friday night for her Reiki meditation and card pull. And then tomorrow, just a reminder, Tarot Tuesday with Jasmine. It's the 21st of September, and that's going to be at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. So let's see what we got. And Spark Plug members, go check out your exclusive video in your member portal that is available now. And if you're not a member, join us, spiritandspark.com, click on the Spark Plug. I'd love to have you in that group. Whew. Yeah, the energy has just been completely wild, completely wild. I feel like I'm on like a bullet train. Oh yeah, Nura just commented on the comment section of the video. So thanks for being a part of today's show. Okay, here we go. Here is the card for the collective. We got the 9 of Spades. Let's see. The 9 of Spades represents and initiates the reinvention of self and recreation of life. It might be that this is a time when letting go of the past in many ways is the order of business. Personal and spiritual initiation are on the table when this card shows up. It is commonly referred to as the death card, and often people, things, and way of life change or are lost. When these things happen, they are destined to be. The highly creative influences with you now beckon you to create anew. Often we are asked to let go of that which no longer serves who we are becoming. This is a powerful time of death and rebirth, rejuvenation and reinvention. Is it time to let go? If it is, it will serve you beyond measure to do so. Embrace the unknown. Creativity is favored. This beautifully sums up what I said about the week ahead, what Nura was saying about this time that we're in right now. So are you going to let the old fall away? Or are you going to be that phoenix rising? Or are you going to hold on so tightly and just hope and pray with your blindfold on that everything just happens? Are you an active participant in your own life, in the community around you? How are you sharing light? Or are you playing it small? Okay? All things I want you to think about for this week ahead. The energy is heavy. I love that, some of you aren't feeling it. You're feeling great and everything's going fantastic. That's awesome. There are a lot of people that are being hit with this really heavy energy. You're not alone. I invite you to come back, each week as I do these videos. If you want to come and join Jasmine tomorrow for the live card pull, come and do that. You're not alone. And if you want to share this video with a couple of friends, family members, coworkers, give them some hope. Let them know that they're not alone, that things are happening for us, that everything is unfolding as it needs to, that there are no accidents. So even on the darkest of days and the darkest of moments, there's always a light shining on the other end of that tunnel. So keep going, one foot in front of the other. We're all part of this community together. We're all going to make it through this, and we're going to be better for it on the other side of this. So keep going. All right. So I will see you. Of course, go to spiritandspark.com for more information on classes, sessions, and we'll see you next time. All right. Bye for now.